Good morning. Look, everybody, Brock's here already. He wasn't supposed to come till 11 today, but I don't really know what we're doing today. We got a bunch of different things, but first thing we're doing is taking this rope wick off of the spray or the gator sprayer because we're done with that. So we'll spray the dirt off of it and put it back in the mow in the barn for another 30 years until we like, hey, we can get that out again because that's what we do. I intend to do some more power washing on the anhydrous bar today at some point. Our parts might come for that this afternoon. Maybe we can work on it a little bit more. And Brock and I are going to go fold boxes because I told Brock to remind me to fold boxes, and he did. So we're going to go do that. Grandpa's got the boys in the backhoe, teaching them how to drive. They're hauling more trash. So all these boxes here that are stacked up are empty, and we need to fold them down, break them down for shipping purposes to return them, because you can fit twice as many in the truck when they're collapsed. One. We got a lot of boxes. I don't know how many that is. It's a lot. So Brock's going to start stacking them up, cleaning those up. And we got two more we got to unstack. And there's another one over there that needs folded. And we got to get these two off the tender here yet. Maths. He's doing maths. Come on. Come on, Brock. Give me a number. 64, he says. Let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 full times 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Plus 8 is 44. Plus 2 is 46. Plus what's over there? There's just 4 and 2. That's 6. That's 52, right? What did I say? 64. Anyway, those are empty. Those are full yet. We may use some of those. So this rain that we got, not last night, but the night before, when we had 3/4 of an inch, you don't have to go very far. And they had like 2 plus 4, 2 inches to 4 inches to, I heard 7 in one spot, and they're major flooding and probably going to be some replant. So a lot of those beans may head to that area for them to replant some of them. I've got just a few treated paper bags left there, and then we've got a few bags of corn. Those need to go somewhere yet. Those are extra just in case, some 102-day stuff that I had just got brought in actually. So we're right down at the end of it. We're in good shape. There's 12 in those stacks, not 9. Brock was right. So it's 4 times 12, not 4 times 9. So that's 48. Plus the 8 is 56. Plus 2 is 58. Plus 4 is 62. Plus 2 is 64. Good work, Brock. You can do maths.
I can. That's one thing I can do.
And we got 10 pallets. So we've got a bunch more to pick up yet. I haven't been to nearly all of my seed customers. I got one I was going to do later this afternoon. I may work on a couple other ones that are close here today, while it's too wet for people to be in the fields and stuff. So anyway, we're heading back to the farm. Brock is going to go clean out one of our barns so he can stack hay in it. People want haymaking videos. Can you make a haymaking video?
It's got dry, but
I don't know why. Did you mow it?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say.
the land's got to.
The ground's got to dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too wet. He had more rain than we did, so yeah. Well, we got those boxes and stuff cleaned up down there. Dad is going to go do a little spraying with the ATV sprayer. I think he's just emptying the tank and cleaning up around some edges. Brock is going to go do some mowing of some roadsides and lanes and stuff. We've got that old barn on one of our fields that he wants to clean out and put some hay in it. So he's going to mow his way down there and clean up while we're there. I took the boys in the house with Mama's here. My wife, their mom, and Grandma in there, and so they're gonna hang out there for a little bit. I think we're gonna go pick some strawberries today. Grandma wants some more. I'm thinking I'm gonna get this out and keep power washing on a little bit. Brock did a good job getting the heavy dirt off, but not a great job on all the little fine details and stuff. And it just takes time that we gotta do that. So, stuff like all of this excess grease here that I want to get off, and on the row units specifically, there's still quite a bit of dirt that I think we can clean up and grease. along in here and that kind of stuff. So we're going to pull this thing outside and get it ready to do that. Well, it doesn't take long, and I feel like I'm cleaning them up pretty well. You can see we've gotten all the grease off of here and most of it in there. I should have gotten a little more in there, but in that one there's the 3 grease points, and they kind of smear out and stuff, so you get it off. And I'm sure we're pressing some water into those pins and bushings in there, but we're going to grease all of this stuff before we put it away and force all that water out. So I'm trying to get it cleaned up good so we can work in here a little bit better. There's probably more when we take stuff apart. It's just kind of the way it is, but we're getting it. It's better than it was. It doesn't really take very long, like I said. And I got this stuff here cleaned up, and there was a bunch of grease in the slide for the hitch there. I have not done this side yet. You can see what we're starting with. The grease here, and all that's plugged full of stuff, and that's what I'm trying to do. Clean up that. Ooh, look. Somebody's spraying. I wonder if it's dry enough I could be spraying. They got their floats on though. Boys,
What?
where are we going?
Strawberry patch.
What are we gonna do?
Pick some strawberries for Grandma.
And she's gonna do what?
And make jam.
Make some more jam. Is that good?
Clip pick more than 180,000 strawberries.
Ooh, I don't know if we can pick more than 180,000. That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, we can pick a lot.
Okay, well, we'll fill up a whole tub of them, okay? A whole big container. Should we do that?
No, I'll just pick them super fast.
Okay, you pick them super fast. There's another sprayer. This makes me want to go do something. Find some. Well, she's too little to pick strawberries.
Yeah, but next year she'll be a little one.
Look at this one.
Oh, that's a good
Dad,
one.
did I pick a good one?
You picked a great one. Can you find some, Brayson?
Oh, I got that.
Did you get one? Oh, yeah. Look at that one.
But I still need a bigger one.
Lots and lots, aren't there?
Let's see if I can pick this up.
Oh.
This is heavy.
Yeah, we
Getting
got to keep
heavy?
picking them. We got to fill that whole thing up.
Oh.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, that one doesn't look.
how'd we do, boys?
Good.
We got lots?
Yeah.
They look pretty good.
You don't want this.
Back at Grandma's. We had to leave this sweet girl with Grandma. All right. Well, I finished going through the row units and stuff and getting what I can. I'm going to lift them up. I floated them so that they're just on the ground on the concrete. Now I'm going to lift them up and see if we can't see anything else underneath them that we can get a little bit more. And then we'll fold it up the rest of the way. And yeah, we'll get a little more dirt off of it. Okay. Well, I got that done with the row units raised up. I forgot I was going to fold it up. I should still do that. We'll see what it looks like underneath, but I've gotten the vast majority of the dirt off. I think we're in pretty good shape here. I want to put it in the shop. We're going to clean the floor up a little bit and clean up some in this corner of the shop over here so we can get it unfolded, and then we'll start taking all the boots off and getting ready for when our parts come, which could still happen today, probably tomorrow. This pump over here, this is the ground drive pump that I took off of, not this, or this. This is the ground drive pump that I took off of the corn planter. It is a John Blue piston pump. I have no use for it. It is for sale. If anybody would like this, send me an email. I have no idea. I have no idea what it's worth. 500 bucks. The pump itself works really good. There's nothing wrong with the pumping mechanism or its ability to put fertilizer on. The only problem was in the controller for the variable rate. Everything that's on here works. I just don't have the controller that goes with the 1770 NT planter to tell this how to adjust the rate and connect to the Green Star monitor. So if you have a different way of controlling it, or you want to just set it on a fixed rate and go, this would work great. Got the mounting brackets, the spring down pressure, the contact tire, the whole 9 yards there. So 500 bucks. Shoot me an email if you want it. Since I need to move the lawnmower and I need to mow lawn, we're going to kill two birds with one stone, kind of. We're going to go mow lawn, and then we'll just park it somewhere else, and then it'll be out of the way, and we'll let that dry off outside, and yeah. Procrastinating. Okay, I'm done mowing. I foam filled some more of my kids' Gator tires. We moved that pump out of the way. Do a little sweeping, and then we're ready to bring that bar in here. Okay, Looks pretty good. We're going to go through and start pulling the boots off of this because we might as well get ready for when we get the new ones. So it's pretty simple to do. I'll get some tools around and show you. Okay, so we're going to start right here. So we've got this row cleaned up pretty good, and we've got to get this boot off of here. So really the only thing we need to do is loosen up this bolt right here. This is what they call a pivot bolt, and it doesn't actually thread into the boot, but when I get it out of here, I'll show you. It's got a rounded end on it, looks like that, and it just pushes into a hole or a pocket on that boot, and then the boot kind of rotates and pivots around it. Now there is another bolt that holds that boot. It's this one right here with the spring, but it is just into a slot. So now that we've got that one out, we can actually start working this around, and it should at some point I might have to use two hands. Oh, there it comes. Almost. There. Comes out. So there's that bolt, the spring fits in this slot. This pivot bolt pushes in there, which is what holds it in place to keep it from coming out. So now we have to take these tubes off, and this is our outside row. That's why there's two tubes. Remember, we put a 1.5 rate on the outside row because we're side dressing 16 rows, but we only have 15 shanks or row units on the bar. So the outside one gets a 1.5 rate. Yeah, it makes sense. It works. I've checked the math. Kind of works. We're putting the right amount on. We're actually giving the row that goes right here like a 1.25 rate, and the row that goes right here like 3/4 rate. But it works. So yeah. Here's our old boot that we took off. It is flat, wore out. We're super sharp and thin there. Scraper boot, whatever they want to call this thing. I call it a boot. Just completely worn out. Really thin on the bottom. So we have to take the tubes off of here. These are still good. We'll put them on the new one. And there's a little rubber plug in here that we also need to get out. So this is a 10 millimeter. I gotta get a wrench. We'll just bring it over here. I have a wrench. And we'll take that off. So there's our tubes. Got the 1/2 rate tube that's a little bit flattened, and the normal one, and then we also have to get this rubber plug out of here, and I'm not sure if it goes out the top or the bottom. Probably the bottom. Could it be right on time my new parts show up as soon as I take one apart? I do have a new one that we could put on there. What a deal. It is in fact our new parts. Sweet. So I guess we'll start putting it back together as well. Yeah, I don't know. I want to paint it. We're gonna have it all apart. We might as well paint it and make it look nice, right? So I gotta see if I got some paint. Yes, it is in fact overkill to paint all of this. But it looks nice, doesn't it? I like it. So we're gonna do it. Nice job, kid. Whoa. Somebody parked this equipment in your way.
That's okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so once we get the tubes back on, the hoses and the clamps, which I did, and they're not in a good spot in there to get to them, so you can't really see it. But and then I put that back in there. We've got this bolt slid into that slot. We tightened up the pivot bolt underneath here. It says to tighten to 160 foot-pounds, so we did that. And then there's a spring here, and that spring basically puts tension, and it pulls on this, and it pivots it on that bolt, which forces the bottom of the boot closer to the blade. The book says to make this distance 15/16 of an inch, which is, you know, like that. 15/16. I'm on a little bit of an angle, but we're pretty dang close. So good enough. So that one is done. The other things that we're looking at here is all the bearings, making sure this spins free, the blade, the closing wheels both spin free, that there's not a bunch of slop in them. We are getting some in this pin, but I don't think it's terrible. Checking up here as well. You know, it slides back and forth, but it's not loose and sloppy. Those things are all gonna wear. There's bushings, they're gonna have to get replaced, but they're not there yet. So this one is good. Wait, I missed a piece. The beaver tail. I forgot the beaver tail. So we're putting that on now. Oop, yeah, it's a two-hand job, but you put this bolt in and put that on there. And there are lefts and rights of these. The wide side of the beaver tail goes towards the blade side, so they're right. The boots will only fit one way. The beaver tails would technically go on there either way, but I'm pretty sure I've got them right. So we'll get this one on. Then this row will be done, except for we need to grease it. Okay, we are making some progress here. I got 3 rows completely done, except for the greasing component of it. We've made it to this one. This row here has a vapor line on it, this big tube. Basically, the way that this system works is we're dealing with anhydrous, right? So it is a gas, but it's a liquid under pressure, and we need it to be a liquid in order to meter it effectively and accurately. And so what happens is we run it through these dual coolers, and they essentially bleed some anhydrous off, and it acts like a refrigerant, and it freezes, or it gets really cold, the rest of the anhydrous that's moving through and coming out here, and then we can go through our flow meter with liquid instead of a gas. Well, we have to have somewhere for this stuff that we're bleeding off and using to cool it to go, and so it runs to a couple of these openers. There's actually 4 of them with a vapor tube on it. Now what I am debating is whether I can change the rows on where those vapor tubes are. They are typically more likely to bleed off a little bit because you're adding extra vapor. It doesn't amount to a ton of nitrogen, but it's something more, and it might bleed off a little bit more, which is why they're on the rows that they are, because these are not in a tire track. They're kind of in uncompacted soil where it's most likely to seal really well. You don't want it behind your tires, so we don't want it in that row. The reason that it was in those is because those were the ones that were the closest without tire tracks, but all of a sudden now we don't have tire tracks right here or there or there, and so I could move those closer to the cooler. And I think part of the burn that I am getting on my corn, which I haven't really shown you guys this yet, but when I turn around on the ends, I get a little bit of burn on the corn on the end rows, and it's these vapor tubes that just bleed off, and I think it's because those hoses are so long to get way over here. So if I shorten them and move them in tighter towards the tractor, maybe it would lessen that a little bit. So I'm thinking about doing that. These vapor tubes are getting pretty dark and potentially brittle as it is. I'm sure that they're original, and so I was going to replace them anyway. So I think we're just going to pull them off of there, and we'll have to get some new tubing. I don't think we've got any around here. And we'll move them. I'll just put the tubes where I want them. I think that'll work. What else was I going to change? There was something else I was going to do different. Well, I'm checking to make sure all the lines are right. I am not convinced that this is row 6, even though it says it's sensor 6. I think we need to double check those and some stuff, because my monitor, I don't know. But anyway, these ones are all right. As I was going through each row, I was pulling them off here, and I rewrote the numbers. They were all correct. And then I wrote it on each line what number it is, so that it's a little bit easier to tell. The only real difference is what tube goes in there. So this is the one for the vapor, where it's got that bigger line, and second tube going down there. So I think we're gonna switch them. Okay, I got that one back together. Proc's gonna take the next one apart. We're gonna run out of paint, so I'm gonna have to go get some more. Another little project that I'm gonna do. See this little bracket right here that's got this super thin side and is not very thick and makes this thing go wiggle, wiggle, wiggle all over the place? We got some big heavy ones made up that are much thicker, more meat here. So we're gonna replace that. So I have to take this hose out to do so, but this hose is supposed to be replaced anyway. All 3 of them that are coming out of the main distributor, I guess, to each individual section, these 3 big hoses are expired and should be replaced. So before next year, we'll probably do that, so they can come apart anyway. We replaced the main feed line from the tanks last year, so that one's still good, but all of these hoses have an expiration date on them because of safety issues. So like this one here says 2021, remove no later than 2027. So this one's good for a while yet. The other ones, yeah, they're expired. Old bracket, new bracket. Shall we compare? Yeah. Thicker, wider, beefier, more better. There. Still moves a little, but much better than it was. Well, it's raining again. I don't know how much we're gonna get. Hopefully not too much, but it's all right. It's not hurting anything right now. Okay. Well, we made decent progress on this here today. We got 5 rows done. Actually, that one's done. We just ran out of paint, so 6 rows done. So I'll grab some paint tomorrow. We may need to get a few more parts. Those rubber spacers or whatever that we are pulling out of them. I had taken one out the other day before I ordered stuff and thought, oh, this isn't worn hardly at all. But then the other ones that I have been, they're quite worn, and Brock appears to be putting them back in. Okay, well, I had new ones. We had a few new ones, and I was putting new ones in, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Those are just there to kind of hold the tubes in place and keep some dirt up from going up in there, so they'll be fine. But just trying to get it in as good a shape as we can for next year, you know? Anyway, it's like almost 6, and so I'm going home for dinner, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. What's today? Is it Wednesday? Thursday. Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. So we're going to be working on this again tomorrow from the way it looks. We'll film it. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Like and subscribe. Questions and comments, leave them down below. We'll see you again tomorrow. Farm Focused. Go get yourself some merchandise. I'll stop telling you about that after you go and do it. Bye. We've got a little strawberry jam. How'd it go?
It went well. The boys were being a huge help.
I don't believe her, but she says they helped.
It's true.
So
We only had one glass break.
Well, you did well then. All right.